Alright, so the Static Group Live's MMO 201 group is not running tonight because it is the NFL draft night, so Theric is watching the draft with eager anticipation to see who his Bears are going to draft and how they're going to manage to then subsequently screw that up. So since we're not doing that tonight, I figured I would hop in for a Thursday night Lotro stream and just see if anything is shaken. Nobody else in the kin is on right now, so I am going to keep an eye on LFF chat while I run through just some solo stuff to get started here. All the weeklies reset today, and I ran just a couple of delvings at lunch to see what the daily malices were. Nothing looks particularly bad, so I might run some more of those as well. But that also means that the weekly 6 Corsairs of Umbar instance quest reset, which means I want to get some of these knocked out real quick and get my 1,000 embers on, at the very least, the characters I normally run this on. That would be my champion here, my lore master, and my runekeeper. I really should start doing these on my hunter and maybe my guardian as well, but we'll see how that goes. I need to gear them up. Oh, and also I tend to run them on my captain. I do not know what that too long error is. That just started happening. That random like file name too long error just started happening after the most recent updated mini patch, this one right here. So something very definitely that's very definitely going on since that happened. It could be coming from a plugin, so if it keeps happening, I'm going to keep an eye out and see if I can maybe strip some plugins back out and see if that stops that error. But it only started happening after this last maintenance and mini patch, so gods only know what they did this time around to screw something up. Alright, so today with Arena we have the Guardian first, which makes people less likely to want to run Arena on the 6-man, especially at the higher tiers, because he's just a pain. But it's good to know ahead of time. I wonder if it's coming up specifically when I use Battle Frenzy. I'm going to have to keep my eye on that, because that is a couple times when I use that specifically at the start of a fight when I didn't have the effect going. So I'm going to let all of that wear off and then see if maybe that's it. Okay, so it's not just inherently using Battle Frenzy when nothing's happening. But it did seem like it was consistently happening at the start of an encounter. Like a Battle Frenzy rolling at the start. And it didn't do it there. So I really don't know what's breaking. And nothing is going into the actual chat log about it. It's just that error box. I suppose I'll have to hit the forums later on and see if anybody else is having that issue and if people have found a fix for it. It's not the worst thing in the world. You can click it right off. But again, it's something that you have to click off that's right in the middle of your damn screen. Right, one quick solo instance done. LFF chat is still basically dead, but it's not quite 6 o'clock here. And usually stuff starts to get rolling around 6:30 as we get more people who are further west off work and home. So that gives me time to knock these out. Get some stuff to melt for embers. Oh, cool! I got the spear that I like here, the regular like dark metal ceremonial one. So that is going in the wardrobe. And that means that I can junk that, so it's not eating up actual inventory space. So far it seems like there are 2 of those different cosmetic spears that come out of there. There's one that's kind of brass or bronze looking, and that's okay, but I really like the darker metal look of this one. And yeah, at this point in time, I very much outgear this place on the solo difficulty. It'd be kind of nice if they gave us higher tier solo difficulties of these, but then it kind of gets into, well, at that point, aren't you almost just doing delving? So I really do look at the solo instances as much more of a case of it's something to do to warm up and get things to melt for embers, get some runes, stuff like that, while you're waiting for an actual activity to take place. So on that front, it's actually good that there's not like a real high-end reward for a solo activity, especially because it is just a solo version of a core game system. Wandered away from that guy figuring that I would kill him with my remorseless strike, and apparently it just did not land devastating or crit. So far, not much on the loot, but I am again stacking up more of these runes. And if nothing else, that is good to go along with the with finishing up the weekly, because I still am entertaining the idea of rebuilding my allies, particularly now that for Red Champ at the very least, still not for the other specs, but for Red Champ, the general consensus seems to be that not only is dual wield actually viable once more, but it comes out on top even without needing the best in slot and set bonus gear. So it would be kind of nice to actually be able to put together a good dual wield build, but that means that I need to pretty much take a new one-handed LI up from scratch. So it's going to take a lot of enhancement runes to be able to just immediately have that all the way leveled up like my current one is. Because that's something I don't want to do, is make that plan and build a new LI, but have all of my slots low level, because that is going to more than lose me any benefit that I get from that change by having all of my tracery slots basically garbage. So I need a whole bunch of runes before I look at doing that. Plus, last time I ran Streets Tier 1 yesterday, I got an iridescent jet randomly from this boss, which is a stupid low drop rate from the solo version, but it always can happen. So, worth at least a shot. Yep, so once again, specified file name was too long, maximum length 64 characters. What specified file name, Lotro? Could you actually give me a real error message someplace? Oh well. Okay, that is a quick 2 down, and still there's nothing going on in LFF chat, so I'm gonna do third one here just to get that knocked out. I still really want to see if I can duo Isle of Storms yet. I am pretty sure that my my inability to duo Isle of Storms is much less to do with my gear and much more of it's a skill issue. Because I really should be able to take the duo version of this by now. So, probably partly skill and partly just tweaking my spec and my gear a little bit. Maybe if nothing comes up tonight, group-wise, that'll be something that I check on this character. Is just see, okay, can I take that yet? And as usual, skip trash pulls we don't have to do, because they're not going to give anything and they're just going to slow you down. I know it would be a tiny amount of progress towards the LI track, but really, not worth the time. I wonder if I got a bleed on that ghost before he submerged. I don't think so. Nope. I just got the blade wall debuff on him. Did not hit him in time. It's just always kind of funny when you can get the when you can get a bleed on an enemy that then does the enter invulnerable state and they bury themselves in the ground like that, because the bleeds will still keep ticking on them. And so if you get a good bleed, they die underground, which is honestly hilarious. I've gone invulnerable, and then I died from a bleed. LFF is still dead quiet. It's really just world chat going today. So as of yet, I'm not missing out on anything. It would be really nice to be able to get a group where I can run and do DPS. So one thing I've got is I have upgraded, come on tooltip, I've upgraded my DPS pocket item to just basically keep my crit rating pumped up, because that's been someplace where I've needed to bump it up. So it's got 2 crit rating essences and then 2 physical masteries, because it's keeping me really close to the first rank crit rating cap and edging my physical mastery up closer and closer to 200k. So I'm starting to get some actual progress in my pure DPS set compared to my tanking gear. And it definitely makes a difference, because I've been consistently killing bosses like that before they get the chance to do any kind of mechanics. Oh, yep, I've capped Umbari Tam once more, which is not a shock on this character. Other than the weekly quest, I've got to find something to start burning those on more consistently. There's just no good, like, constant use for them as a currency once you have things like your town teleports. I'm also starting to wonder about the validity of what was always said as far as kill order on these enemies here. So I'm going to see if I want to let these guys get some hits in on me. And specifically, I want to see them use some of their abilities, because I want to see who does what. And of course, I'm not in my tank spec. But I want to see the power drain. Which I'm wondering if they don't do on solo. Okay, so there's some. So I want to see if I can kill this enough. Okay, so in the combat log, I'm scrolling back. I just want to see which of these mobs is actually getting the power drain off, and if that's something that is going to show in the combat log. Because what we've been doing, because that's what was always the this is the order you do things in here on, was that chaotics die first. I'm starting to wonder if the errants are the ones doing the power drain and need to die first. Damage to morale, damage to morale. I'm seeing just a bunch of damage to morale, which makes me wonder if the combat log is not going to show damage to power or power drains. Because I know I did get power drained there. But yeah, everything in the combat log is just reading damage to morale, damage to morale. Ah, here we go. Nope, it is chaotic winds scored a hit with cyclonic lightning, damage to power. Okay, so we've been right. It is the chaotic winds that do the annoying power drain. I just figured that running this on solo is an easy chance to let them get off a bunch of abilities to try and parse out exactly what it is that's doing that particular annoying effect and verify if we're setting the right enemies up as our primary kills. But no, it is definitely the wind jerks who are the ones doing that. So I've been right. I guess just a lot of times when we come in here and run these, we just don't have the DPS to kill them before we start getting power drains, or we don't get interrupts off in time. Well, one more thing that I can chalk up, especially on my end, as it's a skill issue. Sounds like a skill issue. Really, you're gonna pop that right off the bat? Seriously? And you're also not gonna let me use the freaking potion? So that does make me wonder if maybe what's breaking this patch is something they did might have broken buff bars. Which wouldn't be terribly shocking. Okay. Wow. All of those runs and only one piece of gear that's actually a melt. So yeah, only one of these things is actually ending up giving me embers. So that's a bummer. But at the same time, I got a lot of runes. And the trick to getting these to be able to be stacked and stashed right away is sell them and then buy them right back, because that clears the lock on them. And I just saw somebody talking in LFF, but it was just somebody asking a question, not putting a group together. Dang it. Alright, so that gets me all these runes now nicely stackable. And not only can I stack them, because I sold them and washed them, I can slap them right into shared storage with the rest of my enhancement runes and get them out of my inventory. Right, that is all the loot taken care of there. And still everything being very, very quiet in LFF, which unfortunately is one of the drawbacks of it being festival time as well, because the anniversary festival is going on, so a lot of people who are doing stuff are doing that. Which I really don't care about, because I'm not crazy about any of the cosmetics this year, and I generally don't want the cosmetics and holiday themed mounts and things. I want gear. I want the actual goodies. Well, let's see what we have at Andrath. There might be something to run there. What are today's? Oh, yep, we got Tombs of Gondor Call. So I'm going to go pop into that real quick. Because again, things are still really quiet, so I'm not missing anything out here. And I'm going to do tier 10 just to see what the malices are for the day. And if this is dumb or not. Okay, so it looks like we're going to have Epic Tempests, so I should be seeing storms spawning around, both good and bad, so that's going to be the epic malice for the day. And if the other malices carry true, it's probably going to be Explosive Decompression and Fire Puddles, which means that this should be largely a breeze. Because all of those should pretty much hit after I've killed the enemies. And I get the chance to just use Fear Nothing, clear them, and move on to the next. I will likely at some point in time have to take a quick break to let some health regen, but some of these runs are a little bit longer between mobs, so I might not even have to do that for a little while. So there's a Storm of Protection, not one I need to dodge away from, but I'm already on my way out. Ooh, that guy just whomped me for something. What the heck was that hit? Because that came in for... Right, I really want to know if he did something that was just unreasonably high, or... Oh, yeah, he just hit me basically with a crit and a devastate right in a row with his normal attacks. So that was just a string of pure bad luck on my part. Nothing I should have been watching out for or doing anything with. So, could be worse. I'm gonna take those occasionally, which is why as a champ I've got all my self heals basically set up and ready. But one thing you can't heal through is lag. somebody in LFF chat is asking about running delvings, and honestly, unless it's with somebody, you know, like in the kin or in voice chat or something like that, I don't want to do delvings with a random. There's just way too many ways somebody can screw up some of these malices and cause problems, especially when I can already run them myself. Whoops, storm of lightning, just gonna dip past that. Again, moving through these guys quick enough that I don't have to stop and risk that storm coming on top of me. And a nice quick tier 10 done.
How can I be of service?
Now, inevitably, I'm not going to get anything good from the chest. Yeah, I got 40 delving writs and an enhanced XP supply, which really only does me any good if I'm leveling alts. So we'll stick that in here with the rest of them. And probably save that for next time I'm doing something like leveling the minstrel up some more. Alright, so really not much in the way of action so far tonight. It's coming up on 5:45. Which means I want to see if I can do the croc boss. Whoops, other way around. Size 2, tier 1. I want to see if I can do at least the croc boss in Isle of Storms 2-man difficulty. He's got 2.3 million health. So basically, my job is to do more than 10 times the damage that I take in to stay alive here. Dip out a septic cloud and cleanse that. Come on, use the fucking potion. Okay, this is starting to get really annoying because it is taking the potion off of my bar, so it's not there available for me to use, and it is keeping the add-on from letting me actually use it. So that is really obnoxious. See, that time it worked. But half the times I've been trying to use the potion off the quick slot, it doesn't work. And it's been just removing my Linstead Drought from my hotbar, because that's always been there and it just keeps taking it off. So Lotro's annoying me, but I got the Croc Boss down. So let's see if I can go further. Oh yeah, there's a lot more of these guys on this difficulty, which is good. There should be. Get Blade Wall to soften them up. And I'm keeping my eye on LFF chat still, just to see if I'm missing anything. But it is still a whole bunch of nothing. So the ghost packs are pretty much still the ghost packs, it looks like. Right, not bad. Should still be able to slide past this guy. Good, that still works as expected. I'm definitely not going to drag 2 packs on duo difficulty through here. That is something I would do on solo, but definitely not like this. Yeah, see, it is being so random with when it will let me use my quick slot items and when the game just goes, no, you can't click those. Which means that for the absolutely imperative ones, I still have to waste an actual hotbar slot for them as a backup, or like open my inventory and find them. And that's just such a bunch of crap. Let us do a thing, or don't let us do the thing. Alright, I need to start getting some kills in on these guys to get my health rolling back. Okay, now this is almost definitely going to be the part where I die. I'm tempted to go blue in DPS gear. Yeah. Just for giggles, I'm going to leave my DPS gear on, but I'm going to change my allies to my tanking allies and go to my single target tanking build just to see if I can basically outlast the big monkey. Refresh food. I'm not wasting any of my good food on this. I'm just using my normal self-cooked food. Oh, I totally forget. Did I miss the... I think I missed the sale on crafting. Oh, no, it's still going on for a little while. Because I've been distinctly pondering basically just getting this guy cooking. But cooking doesn't look like it's one of the ones on sale. Well, shit. Forester. Oh, because I think I would have to have cooking on this guy to unlock it. I just do not feel like grinding up all the mats to do cooking. Alright, let's see if I can get some damage on him. Keep him tenderized. Okay, this is definitely not going to work. He's just going to sit here and whittle me away. Yeah, see, once again, the game has just taken my fucking health bars off of my health potions off of my hotbar. All my health potions were just removed from the specs hotbar. Just, they're gone. Some days I want the game to work. Like the little things. I don't want to have to keep my inventory up because you might randomly remove crap from my hotbars that I need to use. At least I didn't get the bracing attack bug this time. So that's something. Come on, monkey, come to me. All right, so the monkey is doable now. That was definitely a bit annoying. Yes, once again, my inventory is open. Potions are on my hotbar. I close my inventory. Potions go away. Fucking Lotro, stop this. Okay, let me replace potions. Where are those delving potions? Go. Put them back. I put them in a new location. And they're going to stay here for a while. And then they're just going to disappear. That should not annoy me as much as it does. But it's really annoying. Oh, I should also probably switch back to DPS for these guys. Yeah, I should go back to a kill before I get killed thing. Can I single? No, they're not going to single pull. It was worth a shot. Right, one trash pull before the boss down. I am missing my stat food though, so I'm just going to go ahead and refresh both of those. And I'm going to see if I can get a charge stun off on these guys before they do it to me. Like that. Right, one chaotic is down. The other chaotic is close. All right, so this last trash pull is really going to be the determining factor here, because this is extras. And we'll see how good this does or doesn't go. Nope, still nobody from the kin on. I just wanted to take a look and see if I had the chance to maybe pull somebody in as a extra body. Oh, they got the stun off. Yep. I am just behind on this one. Because then they start getting their knockbacks off and that happens. And now, of course, it's the whole run all over again. Actually, I don't even know. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother using using food on these. Or definitely not scrolls. Just because I might have to do the whole thing of picking off one of these guys and just lowering this trash pack's density a couple times, because this is probably the worst single fight in the game. Every once in a while at this point you can get... Ooh, I think I got it. You can get them to do this where they'll split. And they're not supposed to. But this only works after this group has spawned and you've wiped to them. So it's not exactly a good strategy, but it works. So I'm just going to regen health here real quick. Oh, and apparently I must have taken out one of the cloud guys, because there's only this dude by his lonesome. So I must have gotten one before I died. Okay, now it's boss time. I'm just going to use food for this one, because I'm going to start in DPS. So I'm going to go red. I don't know if I'll have to switch to tank for him or not. I might have to do kind of the same thing that I did with the monkey boss and more or less outlast him. But I want to see if my sustain from red line will hold or not. My guess is going to be no. My guess is I'm probably going to have to go the same thing I did with the monkey and go single target tank spec, but DPS gear. That actually worked better than I'd expected. Oh, and look, it's randomly put some of the other potions back on my hotbar. Right, he's summoning another cyclone. He's going to catch up on health a little bit. Don't need the... Didn't absolutely need it right then, but... Oh, downdrafts. But that let me basically use up the cooldown and start that timer off. Right, he's summoning more. Oh, terrible cyclone timing. Or spacing, rather. Alright, come over here. But it does let me actually get that. Again, dropping a cyclone right on me. And I have no health. Yeah. And no healing cooldowns. So this can work in this, just not if he is really bad about his cyclone placement. So I'm going to go ahead and use food and scrolls and just see if I can execute this a little bit better, but keep things the same, because it's so much faster if I can pull this off than the other way around. Gotta let my cooldowns reset first, though. Maybe if I move my potions around on my hotbars periodically, Lotro won't forget that they exist and I can use them. Maybe that's a thing. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Fight on has 30 seconds remaining, which means it'll be up by the time the bird comes down, I think. Let's see. I think in this spec I do not have dire need. Nope. Just making sure I have all of my heals, cooldowns, and sundries. Okay, come here, birdie. Please just start the fight. Don't do all of this. Okay, he's probably going to raise Cyclone right on him. Oh, and of course that time I moved preemptively and he didn't. You know, like usual. I really should move at this point. Yep, there's downdraft. More cyclones coming out. That one coming close worries me, but he was almost dead. Alright, so no actual good loot, but, I mean, for giggles, I am at least at the point where with a little bit of patience, I can solo the two-man version of this place now. So that's progress. I'm going to go ahead and wash the enhancement runes here. And, yep, stay on uncommon and below. Sell all this crap. common item loot and the yellow essences. And 3 more runes to bank. And yeah, interestingly, I did get a whole separate credit for this. So yeah, arena, blah, blah, blah. Oh, that's annoying. So that's actually something to watch out for, is that in here, I think the duo just ate one of my locks because I just ticked down and it started tracking and gave me only 3 on Chrismal, Urubaz, and Ragaric. So this is where your normal group ones would show up as opposed to your solos, which are just a regular daily lock, where I've got the other ones from running solo. So because they actually do have the solo duo distinction, that I'm pretty sure ate a lock. So it was fun to do, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that again, or at least not regularly. Okay, so let's see what I have as far as stashed runes. So there's 130 plus, these are the times 2. So there's 170 odd. Another 150. Okay, so I definitely have enough stashed runes to fully level another LI. And I believe that this character in my bank has... Yep, I do have a one-handed sword. Now, granted, it's got stuff on it that I need to remove and melt. Because all this is old. But that means I can basically just replace everything in it and not have to worry about it. So I can... I don't think it likes the numbers in the name. Huh? You take that? Yep. It just doesn't like the numbers. Okay. So I now have a fully leveled up one-handed sword for an LI. And in here, I should have some tracery reclamation scrolls. And just because I've been saving these up and I've got a whole handful of them for whenever I want to use them, I'm going to take them off. I'm going to strip the stuff off of this one-hander because they're all old ones, but I'll be able to disenchant them for a few hundred ancient script. So it'll at least give me some return. And of course, inevitably, what's going to happen is I'm going to do this rebuild, and then it's going to turn out that I hate it after having been two-handed for so long, and I'm going to immediately go back to stripping all the stuff off of this sword and putting it all right back on a two-hander. So I don't like the fact that these are reading as 350 of 520. If I reopen this, is it going to show them? Okay. Still don't like that those are all totally random. Let me see what happens when I put just a random crap tracery in there. I just want to make sure that it properly levels these. Okay, so there's a Swift Strike Power Restore. Gonna put it in one of these. We'll take it from 350 to... Okay. Perfect. It's doing the thing I wanted to make sure it did and properly adjusting these. All right, here we go. Stripping all of the traceries out of my two-hander. Even though it's not the ideal build, because it's still got a lot of teals in it, it still hits plenty hard. And I can just kind of keep replacing as necessary. That's something I should put some work into also, is just getting a few more golds for this one and optimizing some of my stuff. And I've got 1 million boxes to open, so. It is going to be really weird not running around with the two-hander in my red build. What the hell did it just do? Did it double up on something? Okay, so Heraldry of the Lion and my 2 single targets. Okay, so I should have Devastating and Remorseless. Devastating and Remorseless. Feral / Savage is a filler. Wild Attack is another filler, primarily for the might. Swift Strike is there. Again, that Power Restore from Swift Strike is actually nice now, and the Physical Mastery is good. Brutal Strike's damage is here. And 2 Heroic Precision. So what am I losing? Another Swift Strike. Okay, so somehow I ended up with a teal Swift Strike. Did it just did it swap it out for some reason? Okay, whatever. That's what it was. Okay, there we go. So all of my traceries are filled. Now I need to pull out an absolute ass ton of runes. Oh, that's a 121. Why is that still in my stuff? That's going to have to go to a lobby so that I can get that out of my shared storage. So it's going to initially use Basically everything in smaller batches than its max, just to make sure I'm not wasting runes here. Because I'm gonna just keep using these until they're done. Okay, now I'm going to come back and backfill with purple, because that's another even. Purples are +2s. So 2 more of these are going to level all these slots. Why do I just have this sneaking feeling that this is a terrible idea and I'm going to hate it? So it's going to be 6 teals in each of these, as long as I have the teals to use. Okay, all the top ones are filled out, so now it's just going to be a purple in each. We'll get all these tracery slots maxed back out. So that at the very least, I'm not going from a maxed out two-hander, tracery level-wise, to one that is lower. Okay, back into the legendary stuff tab. Runes go back in, all my leftovers, and the tracery reclamation scrolls as well. So there's one more thing that I've got to do too, and I don't think I have. So Adventurer's Armor, yep. So I'm going to pop back to Bree, catch the Stable Master to the Elder Slade War Room, and burn some members real quick on an offhand. Because that's the other thing that kind of needs to be there to make this work, is having an offhand. Because that's where all of your extra attacks come in. Plus a bunch of stat makeup. And I'm also really curious, come to think of it. Funky. Okay, yeah, so there's no real stats on that. So 1810, 1427. So yeah, you definitely get a bigger stat bump from your heraldries on a two-hander than on the one-hander, it looks like. Well, no. 1810, 1427, 82. Kind of flipped, and yeah. So I wonder if I'm going to end up actually with more raw stats, because the offhand is going to be acting kind of like a stat stick too. So I might need to also adjust my essences a little bit. I'm going to see where I am after the fact. Because previously I was sitting at about 222 and 187 on crit and mastery. So after we get Adventurer's Weaponry Might, open this, and what offhands do we have? So Might, Vitality, Crit, Physical Mastery, and Parry. think this is probably going to be it because I do want to stay with the swords. But I just want to see what the other one is. Resistance tat. Nope. Okay. Unsurprisingly, it is very definitely this option. So we take this guy off. Yeah, that actually does put me, because the offhand is acting like a stat stick, it does put me over the soft cap on crit. So I actually do need to rework an essence or two to, oh, why did I have a buff that was just wearing off? I must have. 229. No, that's still over the soft cap. The soft cap is 225. So I need to lose about 4k crit. Almost 5k crit. But that is doable. So let's see, what is the Weapon Master dual wield? Is chance to parry and 5% damage. Honestly, I kind of liked the dual wield. Whoops. That's not what I wanted. I kind of liked the Weapon Master single weapon, which is faster attacks and greater critical damage. Yeah, that's honestly weird in the math. So the dual wield gives me a little bit extra chance to parry and just 5% flat damage bonus. And the single weapon, my two-hander, gave me -5 to attack duration. Actually, I just want to make sure nothing different with the... Yep, it still just counts as single weapon. Okay. And that gave me -5 to attack duration, so quicker animations, and plus 15% critical damage. I guess the flat 5% damage bonus overall just makes up for that, is the theory. Just gonna have to assume that it does. Yeah, this is going to be really interesting. Let me put... Oh, not shared storage. This is going to go in my bank. So my old two-hander is going to go back in the bank here, specifically because all of its slots are all leveled up to 520. So if I need to make a new LI as a two-hander, I can basically just pull that out and slot traceries into it and be good. But yeah, I now have to actually drop some crit for some physical mastery. So is there some place that I can easily do that? Wait, what? That's my L2. What the hell did I just put in my vault? Oh, it just didn't put it in my vault. Okay. Just not gonna ask. Lotro doing Lotro things. So let's see. Do I have something that only has like one essence in it? Shoulders. Now, do I have any... I don't have any essence boxes on me. Do I have any flickerings still? I do not. But the carry-alls are working again, so I can go through these and see. Nope, nothing banked. And check this one, just on the off chance that I have like a physical mastery essence stashed someplace that I did not know about. And that's a bunch of nope. But also, all these yellows are going to get sold. Because I gave everybody in the kin multiple chances to say if they wanted any yellow essences for anything. And nobody said yes. So all of these are going the heck away. We're going to unauto that. Speaking of. And before I look at essences, I'm just going to get rid of all of these as a massive inventory purge. Which just feels really good to get rid of all of those yellow essences. And we're going to do the same out of this bag here. If the game decides it wants to let me... There we go. Good game. Okay, that should be all of the yellow essences out of here. I just have traceries. So all these are getting sold. And if anybody wanted yellow essences, you had a long time to speak up. Alright, all these various enhancement runes as well are going to get put into shared storage here to kind of collectively grab out for my characters to do the same thing I just did on this character. So yeah, I still have easily enough stashed enhancement runes to build from scratch an entirely new LI as well. So I'm still in good shape there. Right, this one goes back to auto, but I'm going to put it back in here for now because I still need to go pop by the Bloody Eagle. Oh, I can do that here now because these are delving missions, so there's a delving quartermaster in here. Even better. Are you yep, here's delving quartermaster. One awesome thing with the new delving stuff is that you can just buy these boxes that have the regular 514 purples in them for 150 delving writs. And if you do any number of delvings per week on a character or more, that's kind of nothing. So I actually need to now start dropping just a little bit of crit. I don't have to. Overcapping crit is actually still just fine because that rolls over into devastating strike chance and damage, but it's drastically reduced. So I'm going to take the crit essence out of these shoulders, not those shoulders, these shoulders that I'm wearing. Oh no, not those ones. I need to find something that has 2 essences in it that are crit essences. Probably this, because that has one of the good 3000 crit essences in it. Whereas I need to find something that has 2 of the 2864s. Or one of the 2864s. I could drop that. Yeah, I can drop it out of this Bright Umbari earring and put physical mastery in there. Okay. Mild change of plans. Don't want to lose the 3K one. I'm going to take out the 2864 one here. So I would rather be slightly over. Nah, I'm going to take 2 out. That'll just let me get closer to both things being capped. So I'm going to buy another one of these physical mastery essences. And find one more thing that has a single 2.8K crit. There we go. Perfect. Bracer. That way, both of these are going to get replaced with physical mastery. And my crit rating is 224, 197. So spitting distance of the 225. And my physical mastery is sitting back up at 193.9. So really close, you know, it's coming along. That's 185%. And now I need to find something to run just to see how this is going to go. I hate the missions out of here for the most part, so I am just not gonna. What do I have left? I'll see what's going on in Clegger. So I do want to do something that's at least a delving and just see how that goes. Actually, also, I'm curious, as soon as I load back in, I didn't even look to see what level the sword rolled at. 514, not bad, because it's the 513 to 515, or the general range of those. What do we got? Among the Watchtowers. We'll do that one. Oh, but I do wonder, does Umbari Battle Lore, that doesn't give me crit, right? Nope, it just gives me mastery. Yeah, these two just give me mastery and mitigation. Just double checking to make sure that wasn't messing my crit rating calculation up. So another thing that I'm going to need to do, and I know this sounds absolutely ridiculously silly, but I'm going to have to figure out what swords I'm going to cosmetically equip in place of the 2 one-handers, and probably figure out, because they don't do the thing where it properly switches between cosmetically equipped outfits for when you switch weapons. So I'm probably going to make a tanking outfit, and tanking cosmetic outfit, and a dual wield. Mainly because I absolutely cannot stand the default look of the two-handed LI. It's just, it is god-awful. And it has to be the first thing that goes away. So I definitely have to get used to the animation speed, because that is changed. So my timings are going to be a little bit weird for a little while. And explosive devastation is a thing in here where I will be getting multiple stacks of it because I can't single pull everything in here. So I'm just going to have to be careful about that. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to just be a little bit careful about the time I leave in between actions, because the dual wield animations definitely do have a different cadence to them. And I'm also not sure how much of it is just being a relatively high geared redline champion, but I do still hit like a truck, so that's good. Good confirmation there that this wasn't like an absolute gimping and people have been just yanking every champ's chain about there being a change. Okay, LFF is still, man, people are still putting together runs for stuff like Darnargabud, so they're, I think it's just everybody running festival stuff right now, which sucks. Oh, lag, there we go. Don't lag while I'm doing something that has an actual countdown bar. I mean, I am still nicely erasing enemies, so that's a good sign. Now, I do suspect that any times like that where I'm pulling out AoEs to, you know, soften enemies with Blade Wall or things like that are going to be less effective in this. Just because I'm losing the two-hander per single attack hits. But that is just fine because really my primary blade skill use in this spec is just to use Blade Wall periodically. And again, the reason for that is that it reduces their armor. It gives a 30-second physical mitigation debuff to targets. And every once in a while, when I just need to spread a bit of extra damage, Raging Blade, because, you know, it's nice. That also does make me wonder if I need to change one of the traceries that I have on my rune. That's something I'm going to have to look at. Just because, again, I am de-emphasizing even more my AoE, and this has the area of effect target count on there because this build previous to this was done with the intention of keeping up enough AoE damage to be at least viable in things like a 6-man or what have you when you need to just do trash melting. So I might keep that up just because, again, it does help with those big packs. Because it turns Blade Wall into a 9 target max and Raging Blade into a 12. So everything where it's enemy swarms, I get that little bit of a bonus. Gotta say, not too shabby. Plus, it's nice to be able to be back on a dual wheel champ. I love the two-hander, and I'm definitely still like tanking. Obviously, is the way to go with the two-hander, because explicitly the martial champion trait line gives you the ability to block with a two-handed weapon. So you have that added to your BPE, which you wouldn't have otherwise. But this is pretty nice. And that definitely did not feel like I was just losing something important. Even having to relearn a little bit of attack timings and cadence. And chest just gave me crafting mats, so meh. But could be worse. Crafting mats are still useful. Right, so that was a nice little bit of confirmation that this at least doesn't suck. So I'm going to pop over to Umbar. Gonna go see how this does against the crocs and the crabs and the boars and stuff like that. Because that weekly quest has also reset, so may as well see if I can make a little bit of progress on it. Again, I just really wish that there were people running anything and I didn't have to either make a group or not get something. But also, I've got to find some swords that I actually want to use on this character. Okay, so what is a good one-handed sword that I have in my armory? So I think... yeah, definitely not the Arena Gladiators. That's kind of crap. The Blade of Daring is kind of nice and simple, but I don't like how blocky it is. I really like this, which is the Darksteel Sword of Ruin. It's one of the few swords in the game that very much has that simple, like, medieval European, like, basic look to it. Like, it's not ornate. It's just a very simple, you know, medieval, a little bit of Viking, but you know, it's not ornate and all fancy and stuff. Free Cutter is definitely ornate, which I do not want. I like the look of swords that are, and weapons and armor in general, as you can probably tell, that are much less ornate and fancy and more utilitarian. All right, the cutlasses are kind of funny, but I don't think we're going to go with the cutlasses. That is just silly. Pair of these things. Like, they are ridiculous, but probably not that. Sharp Sword of Theodred. Ooh, yes. I knew there was a reason I saved those. Scimitar of the Hunter. Oh, I might go with these. A pair of some nasty curved swords here. Might start off with these. And weapon auras, we're going to put Dead City on both of them, because that is a cool aura. All right. Important things have been done, and that was not my mount. Yeah, honestly, I kind of think it's between these, Theoden's sword, and the Darksteel Swords of Ruin. And I already kind of want to go with the Darksteel Swords for just that really plain, like, foot soldier look. Because that is kind of the aesthetic that I really like on this character.
There is much to be done, and fewer hands by which to do it. What's news?
Right, I have my Slaughter the World quests accepted. There's a mining node right here, and obviously somebody has just been through this area. All right, let's see how these swords look. It's actually kind of nice given how spinny a lot of the champ moves are. A curved sword works really well with that. So I might stay with these guys. Okay, yeah, somebody absolutely has gone through here very recently and just wrecked this place. So I'm gonna pop across the road, or at least up this way, and start working on my buffalo and boar. And I figure by the time I get back across the road, I'll have had a whole handful of these guys, and the crocs and stuff will all be nicely respawned. Do I need any lions still? I think I have my lion slayers all done. Oh, nope, I still actually have a lot of progress I could technically make on lion slayers, so since they're standing out here in the open, I'll take these guys. Dang knockout. Yeah, I am still nowhere near, like, top tier, raid and all that geared. I've got some gaps I am still working on filling, but this is actually some significant progress. So at this point in time, most of the places I fail, it's a skill issue. I mean, it was to begin with, but I've kind of worked my way up to the gear level where I don't even have an excuse. Lag, I would like you to finish, please, so I can mine. Maybe? I mean, not bad. I've already got most of my buffaloes and boars at this point. I don't even know what the arid sandflies are for. They introduced them a while back, and I wonder if they were for some of the kind of follow-up quests they put out in this area. Like the continuation of the Song of Waves and Wind stuff, if there's any relation to there, because sandflies here showed up at the same time, more or less, that stuff released. I just have not gone out and actually started doing those quests yet. Because I've been working on instances and gear. So that is 10 out of 12 boars done. 9 out of 12 beefaloes. At this point, I can pretty much just curve back around, do the crocs on the riverbank, and catch crabs as I find them. And I know I don't need any more boars, but that guy was just standing right there. Oh, yep, and apparently not only have the mobs respawned, but so have the ore nodes. So, yoink. Come here, Hunter Crab. I suppose one of the other things that's going to be a big determiner as far as how it performs with the dual wield versus the two-hander for the stuff I do regularly is going to be how do the protos go? How do the bounty mobs on Bel Inzul go? Because all these just regular landscape mobs, I'm tearing straight through, but I did that before as well. So these are not really a good test. First time I've gotten that one in a little while today. What the featured instance? Oh, featured instance this week is Glingant, which is why nobody's nobody's advertising or doing anything with FIs either. Not only is it anniversary, but it's Glingant. Oh, hi, Crab. Okay, so I need 3 more crabs and 1 more buffalo, and I should be good. You, Mr. Croc, are just kind of there. That one was for me. Okay, 2 crabs and a buffalo. Walk into a bar. Oh, there's my crab. One of them anyway. Croc, fox. Crab up on the ridge here. Almost like he wanted me to kill him, because he was standing right by my last buffalo. It was meant to be. Alright, that's 5 to turn in. Oh man, I wonder how bad my reward track is looking. I have not looked recently to see how many boxes I need to pull out of it.
There is much to be done, and here are hands.
Because this is going to be giving me more.
There is much.
Right, so apparently I did not finish the 16 weekly fortune on this character last week, but gets me most of the way done for this week, so I'll have that completion. Okay, let's look at how bad this looks. There's 19 days, 13 hours left. I have stacked up 250, well, near enough 255. Okay, something has got to be done about that. Definitely not on this character anytime soon, because I do not have the inventory space to absorb that many boxes right now. Okay, the only LFF is a level 20-something putting together a Thatter group. I don't think I'm going to hop in on my 150 and ruin Thatter for them. Unless they're explicitly asking for somebody to destroy Thatter for them. So, that's going to be a nope. Yep, one more of these stupid yellow essences is going to go bye-bye. Yeah, definitely do not have a whole lot left to do on this character right now unless groups come together for something. And I do see we have a few people on, but it's people running some 140s. See Cass lurking on his champ. So if I pop back to the Bloody Eagle, let's see where my allegiance is. Okay, so I need 1,500 more to cap out Ledger Keepers on this guy. So that's going to be the next project here. So I've already done some of these as delvings.
Do you have need of some?
Cut above, I do not want to run on anything as a real delving, so I'll probably just toggle this one to tier 3. Just so that I get some writs. But it is not an absolute shit show with ground effects and explosive decompression, because this place, there's not a good way to avoid it being mob dense. So anything that is an on-kill effect or a ground effect is absolutely stacked against you as a melee class when these are the malices you're going to get. But on tier 3, I can generally just take this. Like, it's no big deal. I can walk through it. Walk through it, get the completion and get a few writs for the mission, advance the weekly, and get some allegiance rep items. I think these guys gave me a nice pattern. Yes, they did. So let me split that guy off from his friend. And not too shabby. Still, I'm going to take just a second here and still not pull everything in here, because the ground effects and explosive decompression do add up. That guy should die from bleeds. That's just kind of the unfortunate thing in here, is that if you're killing enemies quickly, you are stacking explosive decompression on yourself that much quicker. Which means basically you're just stacking those fire damage dots on yourself. Right now I got the big guy out. Yeah, not bad. But all of those ground effects like that are why I absolutely do not run that particular one as a high tier delving, because it's just miserable.
There is much to be done, and fewer hands by which to do it. Do you have need of something?
Life's work sucks, and protecting the sea lanes is a non-delving one, so we just pound through that as a regular old mission. Which is always kind of funny anytime you're up against just like regular old enemies. They just kind of disappear. Alright, well, the curved swords are cool and all. I think I am going to go with the instinct and go to the, where were you? Darksteel sword. Because again, I just love that utilitarian look. And everybody knows that style is the true end game. This is a lie. Yeah, that's gonna go away. Bye-bye. Hi bot, bye bot. Does honestly kind of crack me up that the bots will even hit a directory like Lotro. Like, dude, do you know how many people stream in this directory at any given time? I don't think we are your target audience, buddy. Right. Hi, big pirate. Bye, big pirate.
Might you spare a moment?
Right, so that's all of theirs. Where does that put me on my allegiance? Character allegiances. Was looking right past it. 1,500 to 2,600, so still 1,100. I'm not going to get that with all of these.
Might you spare a moment?
Dark Treasure is another one that's just not worth... Did I not get a delving box for that, or did I open it and not even notice? Oh well. Dark Treasure is another one that's not worth running on anything like a high tier because you cannot control the enemies. And they are unavoidably packed in a lot of areas. This poor level 22 who's putting together a Thatter run has given the last call for Thatter like a dozen times so far, and I feel bad. I also I don't have a character in that level range. I don't think. and it would just be ridiculous running anything I have through Thatter with them. So while I feel bad that they don't seem to be getting a full group, I'd feel worse if I were in there just destroying it for them. Let some of these decompressions fall off. Even on tier 3, that 10k adds up really quick. Again, there is no counter to it happening to you in here, really. Unless you're able to sprint away from them as they die and get really lucky, and oh boy, that was a terrible pull. All these guys just chained each other. What I'm looking to do here is avoid getting the ghosts at the same time as well. Now we can get the ghosts. And pop the treasure chest, kill the lady at the end, and we're good.
What news has come in with the tide?
What news has come?
Yeah, I must have opened the other tier 3 chest, unless I filed it. Nope. Let's see what I got. Box of crafting ore, and that sealed tracery that's just been hanging out there for a little while.
Might you spare a moment?
Infestation of crabs is another one that can't be done as a delving, so it's just going to be running through the ship here, killing crabs, fixing leaks. Stun the crabs and see if I can kill them before any of them wake up. It's a little game. I did get a laugh out of the fact that this last patch and whatever they did, introduced a new little messed up geometry area in the stairs here. Like they had fixed all of these, and they have messed it back up. Like there's just a little bit of a hitch in that particular stairway down that you have to jump over. I don't quite know what they did.
What news has come in with the tide? Might you spare a moment?
And I'll do Ship of Wraiths just because it's quick and I want one more of these rep cookies. And we'll do it at tier 3 as well just to get some Delving Writs out of it because I have been spending Delving Writs today. So getting a few back doesn't suck. Even though basically everything I'm fighting in here is going to be packs of 2 or 3, meaning I'm going to be stacking these dots on myself. I wonder how viable School as a Delving is in this build with this gear. I could probably do it tier 1 still. Even though I've dropped some survivability in favor of raw damage. I can probably still do School or Library just on tier 1. Let's see, yep there. No, I was right by a prisoner. Okay, almost done with this one. Okay. Last boss mob comes out. And that's pretty much everything that's doable done. Oh, why did it? Oh, because I have to find the scout. Completely forgot. I'm an idiot. Yeah, I have to talk to the scout to leave this one. Because it's one of the ones structured like that. I hate that. So when you go on autopilot, you can add yourself an extra run like this. Don't go back into the instance. There we go. Now completed. Some folks are having a little bit too much fun in the Bloody Eagle.
Do you have need of something?
Okay, rep cookie taken care of. I don't think I have any more of these stashed. I think I used them all. Yep. So how close does that leave me to finishing my rep track with these guys? Ugh, 500 more. And the annoying thing there is because what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to buy the Ledger Keeper rings on this character because I have so many of the marks stored up.
May the seas be calm and the winds fail.
And these Ledger Keeper rings of the Citadel, for example, are just stupidly good value. Keeper's rings of the Onslaught, if you can absorb the finesse, are awesome value as well. But those Citadel rings are just stupidly good tanking rings. And I don't think I have two of them yet. I just have the one. So I can get myself all the rep I need so that I can just get a second one for when I need to go full defensive tank on this guy. That'll be huge for my mitts. So what I'm going to do is hop to another character real quick and go out and run the let's see, I need 500. So yeah, I'll run Bel Inzol, the Protos. So I'll probably hop to my Lure Master. And knock those out real quick. Also, it gives the kitty a chance to get out, run around, and play with some mobs, which is always nice. And I also keep reminding myself that one of these days I'm actually going to leave the Lore Master some gear rather than poaching it all for my Rune Keeper and just leaving the Lore Master leftovers. But So far, that just keeps not happening. Oh, please, character select finish one of these days. It would be really nice. Any day now, please either let me do character select or just crash so I can log back in. Just like make up your mind, do one of the two things. So far, Lotro is saying you get nothing. Okay, finally. And now maybe I'm not actually going to be able to get back in because I'm sitting in a loading screen. Lissai. Isn't it nice when things are worse after maintenance and patch? Because this just hurts. Lotro keeps doing this. This might actually be the end of things. I want... Oh, yep, there we go. Connection to the server's been lost. I had the feeling that this was the precursor to crashing. It was feeling like that. Okay, let's get this back in. And let's see if I can just do the last thing that I really wanted to get done here, because obviously dungeons ain't happening. Can I just run through these? And what I want to see, so I need, what was it? I think it was 500 that I need. I want to see what these are going to give me in Halrax. To Bel Inzel. So I have at least one rep cookie. Oh, I've got 6 and there. Oh, heck. I can just pop these straight in here. I was just bad and did not put these in shared storage. So that lets me swap those out, and I can grab them on the champ, finish that rep track, and basically just buy another tanking ring right then and there. And that lets me get a another good piece for my full mitigations tanking set, which I definitely want to have as we start getting into like Isle Tier 4 and things like that. Okay, hop into my shared storage. Character allegiances. So basically, I'm just going to be able to pull a ring right out of that box as a reward. I don't think I have... Oh, I even have 2 iridescent jets, so I will be able to upgrade that right away, because I've got a 522 and a 522 DPS ring, so that will let me have a pair of 522 tanking rings now. Right. Cookies go back in for somebody else to use. And claim my rank 30 stuff, which is a Seafarer's 520 Essence box, which is awesome. Especially because what that's going to let me do is I can replace one of my single crit Essence boxes with that, and pick up just a little bit more crit. Or go the other way around and drop something else, drop a single crit to 2 smaller crits. But we want Ledger Keeper's Ring of the Citadel. So this will give me one of these 512 tanking rings. And from there, I can go right to, okay, that's where the Eagle Ledger Keeper's over here. Ledger Keeper Quartermaster, the rank 30 stuff, and say, hey, I want the shiny ring. So that now gives me the 522 tanking ring to go with my other ones. Oh, and actually, I can just pull. That's exactly what that box is going to be for, is that's going to be the Might Essence that's going to go in this. So no moving things around, just grab a Might Essence, slot that in. And again, Might is good, especially for something like this, because this already has a lot of mitigations in it. It's got the almost 6,000 tactical mitigation and 2,500 physical mitigation. But for Champ, Might also is contributing to my mitigations, only on a 1-to-1, but that means that this Might Essence here is 1,448 mitigations to both of those. So that makes this just an absolute crap ton of mitigations on a ring plus the incoming healing. And it gives me some more parry as well. So if I pull open, because I know I've got a gear up set that was heavy defensive. And yeah, it's got the one Keeper's Ring of the Citadel, the old one. So I'm going to put the new one in the other ring slot. And save that. So now if I go heavy defensive tank, it should show both of those rings. For some reason, it keeps losing my boots, but that's neither here nor there. What boots was I using for that? I think it was probably Imbari Soldier's Greaves, because that was just kind of a convenient piece to use. So I think I was using those rather than the Pristine Benevolent, because that's just a bunch of finesse and fate. Yep. All right, that is a good setup there. I will have to fix my red DPS setup at some point in time. Again, because I have switched my my primary ally. But that is one more character, or one more rep track filled, which means that I'll have to pick either my lore master or my captain to start filling another rep track, or just do the other one on my my rune keeper, which is entirely possible. But because I have 361 of these marks here, meaning I can buy several more of these rings, because I wasn't buying the lower level ledger keeper stuff on this guy, even though I was accumulating all the marks. So I didn't buy any of the armor pieces or anything like that. So that'll be a nice little bump up when I get there. But for the time being, I think that's where I'm going to call it. And just because I see he's online and playing Pantheon, I'm going to go ahead and raid out to Joppa, because it's kind of awesome seeing him playing.